Good evening. It's another Monday night. It's 8:30 p.m., which means the North Bank Summit show's back. I'm Mel Smuggo. Andy's next to me. Brooks is down below. It's another weekend of Arsenal winning and Liverpool losing. Lovely jubbly.
Magic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolute beautiful. But obviously, before we get into all our football and welcoming people in the chat, let's go over to my two gorgeous guests once again. Yes, I'm lying, but let them think they're gorgeous.
I'm very sexy.
Behave.
Good
Honestly,
evening,
since
Andy.
I've started doing this, honestly, I'm fending off people at the moment. It's unbelievable.
I bet it's a busy old time Valentine's Day around your house, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, the postman must be sick as a
I'm
dog.
glad I'm not your poster. Yeah, that's it, mate.
Oh, honestly, you'd have the biggest backache ever. All M cards coming in.
How you doing, mate?
Maybe not. Yeah, I'm doing really good, mate. Yeah, really good. Yeah, top weekend, which started off, can I just say, on Friday night with the mighty Borough beating Ipswich, which was a massive result.
Yes.
And then the weekend, the results just got better and better, didn't they?
So, I tell you what, that was some Super Sunday, wasn't it?
Oh, it was magic. Absolutely magic. If Carlsberg did Sunday afternoons, nailed that world. Yeah,
That was good.
Absolutely.
And good evening to Mr. John Brooks himself, the postman. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good. Yeah, all good, mate. Had a good weekend. I'm off this week, so yeah, it's good. It's all good.
I just want to remind Andy that Middlesbrough ain't top though in commentary, still above you.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Sorry.
Yeah, they're going well. Yeah, they're doing well.
Can't have Fat Frank winning it, mate.
No, absolutely not. No. Come on, guys.
So good evening to all our guests who are in the house already. Good evening to Catherine. Hello. Big 3 points, she said, this weekend, and the downfall of 4 in a row in for Liverpool. I'm sure we'll discuss a lot more about that. Good evening to Andrew Mayer, who's in the house. Enjoyable result. Love watching the cocky Scousers cry. And Jesus, were they crying last night? I mean, they're all slot out at the moment
absolutely.
as well. Get Kloppy back and everything. Good evening to Pete G in the house. Good evening, mate. Good to see you on.
Oi, Pete.
Good evening to Melina. Good evening to you. Good to see you on.
Hello.
I think that's about it at the moment. So yeah, this goes straight in. Sorry guys, I've got a bit of a sore throat tonight, but I'll try and get through it. As you can tell, probably all that singing on Saturday on the boat. Especially, right, guys, I've got to be honest before we start, especially the best bit of the boat. Do you know what it was?
When you got the plank.
Big Ange had been sacked.
Brilliant.
Absolute brilliance. You can imagine the old cheer up Postecoglou songs. They all started coming out. I'll tell you what, right? They didn't stop. It was all about Big Ange after.
Was it really?
Loving it. So he's gone. We might have a little bit of a discussion around that later. Good evening to Austin, who's in the house. Good to see you on, mate. But yeah, let's go ahead and start looking at Saturday's game at Fulham. 5:30 kickoff at the Cottage. Going to go to you, Andy, first. Actually, like looking back at it, this was a tricky fixture. Not just because of obviously our previous results against them at the Cottage over the last couple of years, but also I think coming back from an international break, it's never easy, is it? Swinging back into form.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the players that played for us, I think every single one of them's performed probably twice during that break as well. So, they'll be quite leggy going into the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I felt as though, especially first half, we just looked leggy. There was no zip, there was no spark as such, and that can sometimes happen off the back of an international weekend. But it has to be said, phenomenal for the players to come back, get through that match, get the 3 points. It just goes down to their character. I think they've clearly got this kind of winning mentality, and they're not prepared to give it up for anybody. And I think it bodes well for us. Yeah, despite it being a poor performance, cracking result.
Yeah, exactly. Going over to you, John. Any surprises in the lineup for you on Saturday?
No, I'm trying to think on the top of my head. No, I think it was more or less the team we thought. It looks like Trossard's his go-to man at the moment with the injuries at the moment. So yeah, no, I think the team more or less picked at the moment.
Yeah, so obviously we did start with a team of David Raya in goal, Timber at right back, Calafiori left back, Saliba and Gabriel centre backs, Subamendi sitting next to Rice with Eze in the number 10 role, Saka on the right, Trossard on the left, Gyökeres up front. Another another probably frustrating evening for Gorkarez, Andy. But I was having a conversation with someone this evening, and actually, I know he's not getting in the goals at the moment, but you can't fault the work rate. And actually, he is still shooting on target. He is causing keepers to make saves at the moment. I think time will tell. But I think hopefully, given over the next couple of games, that he'll finally get his goal scoring boots back on, because he has a bit of a tricky time with club and country lately.
Yeah, he seems to, doesn't he? But I've got absolutely no doubts, though, that as soon as he gets his next goal, he will go on a streak. As you said, even on Saturday, he was still making chances for himself. He's still, there and thereabouts. Alan Shearer made a great point on Match of the Day. What he does offer us, though, it's not just that physicality about him. It's that willingness to run into the areas that defenders don't like to go into. Now, Havertz doesn't really do that for us when he plays up top. He's not that sort of player. But now that we've got teams who are just sitting and just literally parking the bus, having the forward who can do that is huge for us. And his physicality, I mean, the guy's a beast. But I've got no worries about him. I think he's played ever so well. Just need that goal. But once he gets it, he will go on a streak. I've got absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. First question of the night goes to myself, guys. How was the boat party, Liam? As I was just saying to the guys off here, actually, it was superb. Obviously, 2 boats left Temple Pier at 1:15 on Saturday afternoon. Superbly set up by Red Actions Gooners, which I'll just put a shout out to. Obviously, done an incredible job. But yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely superb on the boats. Plenty of sing songs, plenty of drinks. And it was a party atmosphere, and it was good to see so many Gooners all in one place having a good time. Obviously, you get the odd prat, though, who waits at the top of the bridge and throws Scotch eggs at you. So, probably a Tottenham fan. What? Even had his girlfriend recording him, didn't he? So, it's probably his big moment.
No. Jesus Christ. Oh, dear me.
But yeah, no, it was really good, and obviously, I'd advise anyone if there another opportunity comes up, that it's definitely worth it.
I'm not sure about 3 hours on water for me.
Pardon?
3 hours on water is not for me, mind. And all that drink, no.
Your chat isn't working on your channel. Commented at least 4 times, nothing in it. Well, no idea. Can't do anything about it now. That's a shame, to be fair, but we'll have to have a look into that. Thank you very much.
Who's Rob?
Who's Rob?
I'm Rob. Yeah. I'm Rob. It's a nickname for me.
Is it?
Rob Beckett.
Rob the Knob. All right,
There's your first chuckle of the evening, guys. Andrew saying Alan Shearer being positive about Arsenal is the first, Andy.
Yeah, Andrew, you're quite right. It must have hurt him having to say the things that he said. But in fairness, he did speak well of Gyökeres, so fair play.
And just going over to you, John. Let's talk about that Calafiori strike that was obviously rightly given for offside. It was about a yard in front, weren't he? But the quality of the finish, mate. Look, this guy's got a lethal foot, isn't he?
I'm still laughing at Rob Beckett. I see him at Blue Wall once. Interesting story. No, he walked past me and Sarah. I don't know. But yeah, no. I said to Sarah earlier, she's watching a programme at the moment. It's got some bird in it. And I said, oh, she looks like Calafiori. I said, he's actually better looking. No, yeah, he's had I mean, we've been talking about how good Timber's been this year, but he's been probably just as good. He's had a phenomenal season. You know, this is what we wanted from him last year, stay injury-free. And he's been terrific. Yeah, that finish was unbelievable. It was very unlucky. I mean, like his Man City goal, he does seem to take the shot straight on the volley. And yeah, he's got a very sweet right foot.
He's got two good feet, hasn't he? He's got two great feet.
He's a glorious specimen, isn't he? He just pops up, doesn't he? He's just always up there. He loves to get involved. He's very chaotic, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he can stay fit. Yeah, he's an important part of why we keep keeping clean sheets and winning games. Yeah, he's been terrific.
Absolutely. Good
evening to Atadaishi. Good to see you on, yo. Alex, good evening. Saying evening all. Good to see you on as well. Obviously, as I say, guys, get your questions in tonight. Any questions that come up, we will answer them. We really enjoyed that last week. So any questions you have got, feel free to whack them in the chat. Rosie's saying she's still carrying on the Beckett. If you shut your eyes, Liam is pure off.
It's not a bad thing. He's a Gooner as well. So, yeah.
So going to go at you, Andy. First half was a bit of a boring affair, weren't it? It was that classic first came back after the international break. Teams kind of grooving themselves back in. We spoke about the Calafiori strike, which was an absolutely incredible strike. But there weren't really much going on, was there? A few corners, didn't really come to nothing. What was your thoughts going into our time?
Going into half time, I think there was a degree of frustration there, without doubt. I couldn't see us getting beat in the game at all. I just couldn't see Fulham getting through us, I'll be honest. So it was all about what we could do in the second half. And I think for me, the one big disappointing aspect of the game at the weekend was that, and I know we're expecting a lot because he's only come to the club, but they're the games that we want Eze to show that little bit of brilliance, that little bit of something else that can just turn a game on its head. And at the moment, it's not really happening for him. Now, do you know what though? He's now realising what it's like to play week in, week out when you just got a body of people in front of you. At Palace, people weren't parking buses for them. But he's now realises now with the systems that everybody plays against us, it's a much more difficult ask. It's going to be a huge learning curve for him. But ultimately, we paid a lot of money for him for them moments, and at present, it's just not quite there. And like I say, it might just be that it's early days at the moment, and he's still finding his feet with the formations and how we play. But and yeah, they're the games I was expecting a little bit more from him certainly. Yeah,
definitely. Just going to say good evening to Frank. Good to see you on.
Evening, Frank.
Best Gooners squad. No more injuries, please. 100%. Good evening to Neil, who's in the house. Good evening, mate. Good to see you on. Rosie's got a question. It's not about English football, it's about Scottish football. Question for the panel. I missed the Celtic scores for the men and women this weekend. Can you let Lord Batson know where they are? Thanks, gents. Absolutely no shame, Rosie, with her one victory this year for Rangers. No shame whatsoever.
Yeah, they couldn't even beat Dundee United, by the way. Dundee United should have beaten them.
Oh,
yeah, all the Tangerines.
Yeah, Dundee clubs had a pretty good weekend, didn't they?
They did, yeah. It's a first.
It definitely is a first.
Yeah.
Weird and outrageous question. I'm going to put this one to you, Andy, even though I ain't ready yet.
Oh, great.
Alex, weird and outrageous question. After 300 games, who is better, Arteta or Arsene?
Oh, that's a stupid question. I mean, come on.
Do you know what? It's an interesting one. I mean, Arsene Wenger's ultimately to us Gooners is almost godlike. But what Arteta's done for this club in the short time, well, relatively short time, was it 5 years? What he's done to this club in that space of time, when you think of where we were, I mean, we were kind of rock bottom. We were full of people with bad attitudes. Everything was wrong about the club. There was no connect between the fans and the players. So for a rookie manager to come in and literally transform the whole club and to put us where we are now, you know, could Wenger have done that in that space of time? Who knows? But you know what? I think the most important thing is we have got right now a manager that is just phenomenal.
I think it's quite an interesting debate you've kind of put there, Andy. When you think about it, because when you look at it, obviously Arsene did have the luxury to taking over the famous back four, David Seaman. He had a top striker in Ian Wright. What he probably didn't have at the time, which he worked on very quickly, was that centre midfield, wasn't it, with Patrick Vieira? And then he got Emmanuel Petit in the following season. So he had a structure there, didn't he? He had a basis with actually, do you know what? He kind of cherry-picked 3 or 4 players and thought, do you know what? I'm going to put Petit in, I'm going to put Vieira in, I'm going to put Overmars in. And that pretty much made Arsenal, didn't it? If we're being totally honest, that's the 3 signings that turned that team from being a 5th and 6th place team at that point in 1996 to being a team that won the league the next season. With the Arteta situation, and I remember the end of the Unai Emery reign, we was hitting a really bad patch. Like we was conceding 30 shots a game at Watford, if you remember rightly.
Yeah.
The team was very much individual based. When you look at the front three, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe, not disrespecting any of them because on their day they're 3 good players, but it was very individual based, weren't it? And if you look all around the pitch, the defenders weren't defenders. We're being totally honest, they were anything but defenders. When you start looking at Kalajnik was playing left back, David Luiz centre back. There was no structure, was there, to that team? So I think actually, when you start looking at what Arteta had to come into, he had to manage the Ozil situation straight away. He had to manage the Aubameyang situation pretty much soon after, and he obviously had to manage, going on that slump. And let's be honest, fair play to the Bulls, because actually, without many Bulls would have sacked Arteta before Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Like when you sit here now and you listen to Liverpool fans going, "How they want Slot gone." It's how fickle the game of football is. But I just think that over a longer term, I think it's going to be an interesting debate. I think it's going to be an interesting debate because Arsene Wenger is like the best manager we've ever had in our lifetime at this club. What he achieved with the Invincibles and all that, but he did struggle a bit in his latter years, and when he was given money as well, he seemed to struggle a little bit more. So I think what Arteta's done, and especially as Andy said, being a rookie manager and where he is today, I think it's an incredible achievement in a lot of ways that I think sometimes gets overridden because actually the need of success is so high, and finishing second in the last 3 years. And if I'm being honest, this is the big piece where he fast-tracked us in 2002, because let's be honest, in 2022-23 season, we didn't expect to be in a title race at the start of the season. We didn't expect to be competing for the title. And I think that those 2 years, let's put him on a pedestal. And the problem is now, he either goes one way or the other now. He either wins the Premier League and the Champions League, or whatever he has to win out of them two. Because if he doesn't, then actually he's probably a victim, isn't he, John, of his success, of how quickly he turned that team around in that 2022 season.
Yeah, he needs to win the league. I mean, to even be considered in the same breath as Arsene Wenger, he's got to win a title. I mean, Wenger won a double in his second season. Well, first proper season, really. So, yeah, no, he has to win the league. You know, I know he's done very well, but yeah, trophies speak for themselves. You know, we can't keep finishing second. He has to win the league this year, and the way it's going, it looks like it's going to happen. But yeah, people, you know, there's so much pressure on us. It's just ridiculous. We're just treated differently to everyone else. Arteta's got to do this. Arteta's got to do that. Oh, Gyökeres hasn't done this. Gyökeres hasn't done that. Florian Wirtz has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And no one says anything. Isak can't do shit all. No one says shit all. You know, even Cunha at Man United, but he scored yet, done nothing. You know, but no one says nothing. But Arsenal, it's a completely different level. You know, and that's the pressure that Arteta's gone. And, you know, you have to give him huge credit because he knows the pressure's on him all the time. And but 99% of the time, he's carried himself impeccably. He hasn't really snapped. But he knows the pressure's on. And so far, he's nice and calm.
Like, I look at the season, Andy, and look, I look at our Liverpool game. That was a game where I felt that he should have gone for it.
That's the game that really pisses me off.
And it did piss us off. He's probably looking at it now that actually watching other teams thinking, do you know what, I did approach that wrong. I'm sure he does think that. The Man City game, look, if we don't concede the first goal, I think we win that game quite comfortably. I think we gave Man City a reason to defend, and they defended. But I think the true test of character was that actually we did turn it around and got a point out of a game that actually, when you look at it right now, gives us a 3-point margin, which is still a big thing. But I look at this team, Andy, and I just look at the fixture list, and I think at the moment we got an incredible squad of players and an incredible bench. And we still got 4 to 5 top players still to come back from injury. I find it really, really difficult, right? When you've got a competitive squad like this, where you're going into training each week. Not saying that you'd have played at that kind of level, but if you've got a squad of players that are gunning for something, and the squad's really strong, surely the training sessions are much more intimidating in terms of the fire in the belly and all that, which actually brings out the best of people. But surely this is why we're seeing it on the pitch now, that actually everyone wants to be in his starting 11, and you're looking at players on the bench and you're thinking, actually, most of these players could start for this club. Like, I was looking at it the other day, you got Mikel Merino, scored 2 goals in it for Spain again the other week, last week, on the bench. Do you know what I mean? Mascara plays superbly well. Probably didn't deserve to be dropped in a lot of ways, but obviously we got William Saliba on the bench. Like, and when you start thinking that you've got Havertz coming back, you've got the likes of Jesus will be coming back into fitness, Madueke. There's no reason now, is there? There's no reason why this club and this team cannot win the league from this position.
None whatsoever. I can't believe for a minute that there's anybody in there now that has any doubts now. It seems to me that there's a belief throughout the whole of the squad now that we can go on and achieve, and we need to go on and win something this year. There's always been that kind of togetherness, which has always been a massive asset of ours. You know, that kind of that connect now we got with the supporters and the players is fantastic. And ultimately, now as a supporter, I don't fear anybody. With that squad that we've got, you know, in the past, sometimes you look at the fixtures and you're like, oh God, Liverpool away, or oh God, City, whatever. There's nobody that I fear now. I honestly believe that we're the team that people fear. Nobody really wants to play against us. I don't know whether you heard it at the weekend, but Sander Berg had done an interview for, I think it was Danish TV or whatever. Is he Danish or Norwegian? Norwegian. Well, it wasn't for Danish TV then. But he done his an interview, and he said that about how difficult we are to play against. He said because because the players are in certain positions all of the time, or people move around. He said it's almost like someone's remote controlling them from the top of the stand. And he said we can't create overloads. We can't get into the areas where we know we can cause damage. They're just too good. It was essentially they're just too strong, and that is incredible coming from a fellow professional talking about the standards that we're setting at the moment. And it's at the moment it's everything is just geared for success. And honestly, I would be devastated if we didn't get anything this season for Arteta, because he deserves this, and the players do. When you watch these players going into games now, they don't fear anybody. They've got that belief. You can see it simmering through the team. Every time we score, every player's there to celebrate. So there's the collectiveness, the togetherness. And as I say, I don't think the players or us fear anybody. And as for training's class when it's like that, because everything's at top standard. Everybody's on it, because if you're not playing, you want to be showing people, you know, what your ability is. I'm knocking at the door. I want to be the next one to be chosen. So it must be an awesome place to be right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you said, the club's geared for it. I think Arteta's comfortable in terms of what he's got now, in terms of the strength for the squad. Before I go on just a little bit, I just want to go on to JS's comment and Saka. Saka, I thought on Saturday is literally, he is, and this is what I was saying to someone last week. Like, as long as we can keep Saka fit, especially with Madueke out, I think this is the key piece. I really, really do, because I think when Saka got injured last year, if you look at when Saka got injured last year, was when the downfall started. Do you know what I mean? Because he got injured at Palace, and we was firing on all cylinders at that point. But this guy is just something else. Like, he uses the club through and through, because he knows the club. He's gone through the club through how it ends. But I just think it's his temperament and the level of his performance as well. And I don't think that we're seeing nowhere near to the level of what he could achieve this season. I've got big expectations if this guy can stay fit this season, that I think he could end up being, and I'm not saying he'll get the same kind of goal distribution as him, but I think he'll end up being that Salah player that could drive us through to the title, just like Salah did with last year. Andy,
yeah.
What's your thoughts on Saka? Because, look, he's had his injuries. Arteta does need to manage his minutes, I think, quite wisely. So, look, if the game's done tomorrow for whatever reason, at 2-0, 60 minutes gone, I'm expecting him to come off the pitch because I think he needs to be protected. What's your kind of thoughts on him, and how do we protect him at the moment?
Yeah, you're quite right in relation to, especially because it's a hamstring injury. He'll definitely need some sort of protection. But I think what we're seeing now is, with the games that he's got under his belt now, the England games as well, it's actually helped him with his sharpness. And you can see when he's fully match fit and firing, he's almost untouchable. And I'm the same as you. I think that his contribution come the end of the season could be crucial between us actually winning the title or not. So keeping him fit for the league games in particular is going to be huge, because the kid is just outstanding. Some of them crossfield balls that were put to him, which were inch perfect, by the way, and then he's got a first touch with the guy a yard away, so the first touch has to be bang on, and then he's going at them as well. It's just phenomenal. He must be a nightmare to play against.
No, I totally agree. Absolute nightmare. I just want to go to John on that as well. Can he push himself to be that best player in the league this season? Can he be that player?
Well, I think he's almost there now, to be honest. I mean, he was incredible Saturday night. I mean, first half, as the first half got longer, carried on, he was growing more and more into the game and getting more, doing what he's doing. The second half, he was superb. He was the best player in the pitch by an absolute mile. I know defensively we were excellent, but every time he got the ball, he was just driving forward. Just some of those little dribbles. He was superb. And with the Gyökeres as well, it's good to see actually that he's making the runs and people are now finding him. So it's only a matter of time before he starts scoring. You can see what they're doing in the training ground with the little through balls for him. But he's a phenomenal player. And as I said, the only worry, of course, is the injuries. I mean, like Saturday night at Fulham and Sessegnon, I don't know how he didn't get booked. I mean, he fouled him about 7 times. And Atletico Madrid, they're quite tough and they'll have a few nibbles at him. But yeah, you just got to look after him. But yeah, the way he's going, I mean, yeah, he will score quite a few goals. I mean, I don't know what's happened to Salah. It's almost as if he's got his new contract and decided not going to bother anymore. But Saka stays fit, we win the league. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He proved on Saturday he's our most important player. I mean, obviously, people going on about Odegaard, we do miss him because on Saturday he proved that he's not Odegaard. Saka's the main man. So, yeah. He carries on the way he's going. He's just ridiculous. He's just so good. He's just so good. It's just ridiculous.
As you've hit on the head about Eze, before we go, just a quick question before we do that as it goes. Random question for you all: Saka or Ljungberg? Saka for me.
Saka.
Yeah. That's a tough one. That is tough, but yeah.
No, I don't think it's tough whatsoever.
But Ljungberg did win his league titles.
He did. Put Saka in that invincible team.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it'd be lovely. But yeah,
mate, the figures would be out of this world.
It would be nice.
If Saka plays to the top of his ability, he could be up there for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he could win. He could win all 4 trophies this year in the World Cup.
If Thierry Henry can't win it for Arsenal, Saka's no way got a chance.
Yeah.
Pavel Nedved, that's all I say.
No, yeah, it's a joke. Yeah.
Absolute joke. But just go back to you, John, on the Eze situation. See, I'm in a little bit of a pickle with this at the moment because I feel like he's getting shifted into quite a few different positions, which shows the versatility of a player first and foremost. But he started on the left wing. He's played on the left 10. Now he's played in the right 10, which I'm not really sure as a balance whether it works with him being on the right 10 and Saka being in the team on the right wing as well. Because I feel that, I don't know, maybe where Saka, or maybe where we want to distribute the ball to Saka, that's pretty much nullifying Eze's game a bit. I would have preferred seeing him on the left-hand side of the 3 with Declan moving over to the right-hand side. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on it? Because I'm just not really sure about him on the right-hand side of the 3.
Yeah, no, I don't know either, to be quite frank. I mean, when he came on for England the other day, he was on the left and he scored. It is tough. I mean, the position is there. Obviously, Odegaard's not there. Everyone's expecting him to be as good as Odegaard, do everything that Odegaard does. Now people are actually realising, oh shit, hang on, Martin Odegaard's very, very good at what he does. And Eze's a very good player as well, but are two different players. So,
let's be honest, Odegaard and Saka have got the chemistry, ain't they? The chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. And so Eze just coming there. You can tell he's, that links up well with Saka and Rice, and obviously play with him in England. But you've got to give him a chance. I mean, he's only been there, 4 or 5 games, so he's still going to take a time. He will get there. But obviously, the pressure will be there on Sunday. There's obviously Palace at home, and even more, everyone will be expecting him to do something.
But yeah, obviously we'll go ahead and look at that game soon, Andy. But obviously, it is a big game for him Sunday, isn't it? Against Crystal Palace. What's your kind of thoughts on him in his performance on Saturday, and where do you think his best position is?
I think as far as Eze's performances so far, I would say it's probably been fairly underwhelming, and I don't think we can hide from that. There's no point in beating around the bush. It has been pretty average, let's be honest. But we all know that there's so much more to come from him. But for me, he needs to be coming, as you just said there, off the left-hand side so we can cut in onto his right foot. It's a difficult one for Eze at the moment because he's now come into a system that is rigid in the way that we play. And whereas at Palace he could float around and just appear anywhere, that doesn't happen. That can't happen for us because that just upsets the system completely. So it's a bit, like I said to you just a bit earlier, I think it's a huge learning curve for Eze at the moment, and he's just getting used to how we go about doing things, how do we beat these low blocks that come every single week in every single game. Like tomorrow night is a game where you would say Eze could be the difference between, because they're so defensive. So you're looking at your Ezes or your Sakas or your Odegaards if he was fit, just your special players to step up and do that special thing. And these are the games that we're going to really need him. So for me, he's kind of got to get up to speed a little bit quicker because there's too many games coming. Do you know what I mean? I just think that at the moment it's not quite happening, but he needs to snap into some sort of form, and I think pretty quickly, to be honest.
No, he definitely does need to snap into some form. I'm not worried, if I'm being totally honest, because I think it is a learning curve. I think he's in quite a fortunate situation where he's actually got a shield of like Declan Rice, Mendy, and that back four. Dave Raya, so it gives him time to kind of embed himself. But like you said, I think the key attribute and the key wording here is it's the way teams set up against us, the low blocks, and he's not used to that because he'll be used to teams feeling that they can go and beat Palace, which is no disrespect for them because actually a lot of teams don't beat Crystal Palace, but it was because he was able to pull the strings and do what he did, where now he's actually looking at a team where he's having to play in front of like a back eight probably at times. Now, I thought he'd be good at number 10 here. Not saying he can't be good at number 10, but I think he's got to be on the left-hand side, my personal opinion. But I would love to see him get a connection with Saka, because actually if he got a connection with Saka, that'd be absolutely lethal in games. I'm starting to think that maybe the left wing is probably maybe the key position for him, maybe this season, and maybe that's where he'll end up being embedded once Odegaard returns, because actually, as I think I said it before, I see him a little bit like Perez, where he'll cut back in, do you know what I mean? And he's got that ability to have that strike. He's got ability to do that kind of stuff. And maybe there's a little bit more...
Fury bombing up and down as well.
Exactly.
To come in video.
And there's a lot of scrutiny in terms of actually at the moment, and probably a lot more pressure on him that he's being put in that Odegaard role, and we're expecting him to then just come out with numbers. And let's be honest, even Odegaard was struggling for numbers at the moment within that role, because I think it's such a rigid role, and it's a role that actually you've got to obviously be able to kind of do what you do. I don't know. I just think that longer notice, his position will be on the left-hand side of that three on the wing, and I think that's where he'll obviously achieve good stuff this season. And I think he was proving that in the first couple of games. Like you look at that first goal he set up for Gyökeres against, was it Nottingham Forest? Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
That is a prime example of what he can do. And I think as well that will help Gyökeres more, getting that distribution on the left. The problem with Trossard is at times he needs too many touches.
His crossing, by the way, I mean, I know he scored the other day. Brilliant. I'm not going to lie, I was slagging him off. I mean, lovely, he couldn't really miss, but his crossing is so bad. Honestly, every time I got the ball, just get crossing it to the keeper's arms. It's just that's what I get annoyed at him.
Look, Trossard's not a starter. We all know that. He's not a starter for this team. He shouldn't be a starter for the club. But look, the situation is at the moment that he is. Unless Arteta says to Nwaneri, you go and play in Odegaard's role, and actually we'll put Eze out on the left. That's the only way that Trossard's not going to start in his team at the moment. I'm hoping the goal does him good. I'm not sure that's going to be the case because I've waited a lot of times in terms of Trossard. He scores and I think, do you know what? Will he go on one now? And he doesn't. It's a big moment for Trossard now he got that goal because I didn't rate his performance on Saturday whatsoever.
Terrible.
But he scored the winner. He was in the right place at the right time. He did score, but for me, he needs to do a lot more. The sooner we can get Odegaard back, the better, because actually I think then we have our complete team. But yeah, again, I'm going to go to you, Andy, on this first. We got a really key period coming up after the international break. You look at these fixtures and you think Crystal Palace at home, I think it's going to be tricky. I think they're a good side. Do you know what I mean? It's not a gimme. It's not a guaranteed 3 points. They took a point from us last season at the Emirates. So we've got to be on top form, haven't we? And we've got to go in there motivated to win that game. Then you look at if we win that game, you look at Sunderland and Burnley, and no disrespect to Sunderland or Burnley, we should be going there comfortably, expecting to take 6 points out of 6. So you get into the international break then again, and you actually won all your fixtures. You come out the other side, and then you start thinking, do you know what? Havertz is close to coming back into the team. Odegaard's close to come back into the team. And then you look at the run. And that's the run where I think will determine if we win the league this year. Chelsea away, Bayern Munich at home, followed by Tottenham at home. I think it's Tottenham at home. I think we've got Brentford at home and then Aston Villa away.
15 points, lovely.
If you take 15 points, I'll pretty much say we're going to win the league. I think at that point, if we go and beat Chelsea away, I think that's a major statement. Do you know what I mean? But if you back it up with Tottenham, I think then you've got to be really, really confident that we can get the job done.
We should beat Spurs. They're fucking terrible.
But it's key now, isn't it? Like you look at the fixtures coming up for both Liverpool and Man City. They've both got to play each other before the international break. So one of them teams aren't going to drop points again. So if we won every game between now to the international break, actually, we'd be at least 6 points. Should be 6 points ahead of one of them teams.
Yeah, ideally. Yeah, it's always one of them things. It's like a little loophole we can fall into when we start looking at the fixtures that are coming up. Because ultimately, all they're thinking about right now is tomorrow night. That's all they're bothered about, and that's the process that he's brought into place. The second that game's finished, eyes on the weekend now, eyes on Palace, and it's literally just get past this next one, win, move on. The biggest thing now is going to be, we've got the victory over Fulham, where we've had a tough time the last 2 years, as you quite rightly said. Palace got a point last year, so we need to beat them. So that's 2 points better than where we were last year. These are the games that are crucial to us, because I've got no doubt in the big games, I think we're all right, But it's when these lesser teams come up against us sometimes, and they've got nothing to lose. They'll go and sit in there and have the occasional break and what have you. But I think Arteta's covered all angles when it comes to that, and I really believe that we can just go on that run.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd go so far as to say I'd actually be disappointed if we didn't. At this moment in time, we're improving. That back four's unbelievable. The midfield seems to be settling a little bit, but we've got players to come back still, and we've got a glut of games coming up. So we've just got to make sure that we stay injury free. That's the biggest one. A lot, like all it takes is a knock to Declan Rice or a knock to Saka, and you're then in a little bit of a crisis then. So it's fingers crossed we'll be good. Like I said before, I'm really positive and just literally do not fear anybody, and it's been years since we can say that.
But this is the piece, isn't it, Andy? You hit it on the forehead. You're looking at the two key players, Saka and Rice, probably the most two valuable players at the moment, which is quite unbelievable we're saying that when we're thinking that probably you always used to be Saliba, but actually we've got defensive cover across that defence. But when you look at Rice, I think Mourinho, there's a big difference in terms of level of performance. As I said, I like Mikel Merino. I think he's a really good player. one of the things that I was discussing early on with someone was actually Mikel Mourinho. You're not really going to get any stronger as a squad player in many teams across Europe. But there's if we're being honest, there still is a big difference from Declan Rice not being in the team to not being in the team. So he's one player that we need to keep validly fit, and obviously Saka as well. So looking at these games tomorrow, and then you look at the Brighton game in the League Cup, which look, we want to be doing well in all 4 trophies. So we want to be getting to a League Cup final. We ain't won since 1993. I'm very much in the bag that let's get the first trophy out of the way. Let's get it into the club. Do you know what I mean? We got the squad to compete for the League Cup. Look, I don't think the picture's bad, Brighton, but they're a very good side, and we've lost them previously in the League Cup at home.
Yes.
These are the games now where I don't want to be seeing Saka and Rice playing unless there's something going on last 20 minutes and we're not winning them games.
Yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? Because, yes, ideally we don't really want to see them playing, and we hope the ones coming in can do it. But by the same token, do we want them there because we need that trophy? I think there's a big trophy hunt going on this year. I don't think they're looking at just maybe 1 or 2. I think that they'll be being quite greedy about it. Let's go for the lot. Let's start it off, like you said, with the League Cup. Maybe make a few tweaks, but I think ultimately he seems to be staying pretty strong with his team selections than making wholesale changes like he's done in the past in the cups and things.
Let's be honest, winning the League Cup breaks the confidence barrier, don't it? In terms of actually, we've seen that over the line. We've got a trophy into the club. Not only is it a taste of success then to go on and win the league, but also it's that rod that's off the back, isn't it? It's that rod that actually you haven't won anything since the COVID FA Cup. And we have to be honest, it's been tainted, that FA Cup, because it was the COVID season. Whether that's right or wrong, that's for people to agree or disagree. But getting that first trophy in, I think, is really, really important for the confidence of the team. So I think the League Cup's a really, really important trophy for us this year. John, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I've said this for ages now. People are like, don't worry about the Carabao Cup. A trophy's a trophy. Like I said, we're desperate to win one, let's be honest. You see no disrespect to some of the teams that won trophies all across Europe last season. And when Palace won it, I was not jealous, but I was like, I want that to be us. I want to win a cup. I mean, I don't care if it's a Carabao Cup. Win that one, the players get a taste of it. How excited the fan base will then be? Because they want to be just chomping at the bit. Just one big push to get the next big thing. Oh, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, Brighton will be tough because they're a good side, and you do wonder how many changes you'll make. But like I said, we have got the squad. But yeah, no, this is a great opportunity. You look at some of the other ties. There's a couple of all Premier League ones. I can't think off the top of my head who, but I know there's a couple of half-decent games. So if we do get through, we've got a good chance of getting through all the way. But yeah, no, definitely, I want to win everything.
Yeah, let's be greedy.
Absolutely.
Well, look at Pep Guardiola. He won it 4 years in a row. If it's good enough for Pep Guardiola, it should be good enough for any Arsenal fan.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't like this where it's just a League Cup. I don't really care about it. I don't really like. I can't agree with that. I think it's the perfect platform now.
Silverware.
Yeah, to take us to the next step. Just going to go on to one of Andrew's comments. 2 of them as it goes. Not sure I totally agree with that, mate. Saka and Raya are the only guaranteed starters. I think everyone's got.
Ooh.
I think there's
the whole team? What? And just
competition.
Out the whole team?
No.
Wow.
I would say I think Gabriel's 100% a definite starter.
I would say there's 10 guaranteed starters, and the only one that isn't is the left wing. I think the whole team picks itself at the moment. I think.
Very difficult to drop Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah, and Timber and Calafiori. You couldn't drop them two at the moment.
You couldn't take Timber or Calafiori out. You definitely wouldn't. You wouldn't take Rice out of it. Zubimendi's now cementing that place in midfield.
Big Victor's our striker. He's starting.
I'm not sure about that, Andrew. Not sure.
Noni playing on the left, which is actually a good point. Do you see Noni playing on the left, Andy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He did it briefly for us actually when I think was it his first game he came on and he was down that side. He will cause mayhem no matter where he plays.
And him and Saka can rotate as well.
Do you know what? Absolutely, because Saka's proved in the past that he can switch wings and do the job on the side.
We've got a versatile team. You think there's so many players that can play all across the pitch.
Yeah, and I think him coming back's massive for us because we need that left-hand side to have the chemistry that the right-hand side's got. Because at the moment, in fits and starts, that left side is kind of all right. But when you've got a Trossard playing there, and this is no disrespect to Trossard, he'll never be a Saka. And I'm not saying Madueke would be a Saka, but he'll be a much better option. And he's got that electric pace. Yeah. And his pace is frightening. In fact, he surprised me with how fast he actually is.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
It causes mayhem. He's got no fear. If he goes and takes somebody on and it doesn't work out, it doesn't get him down. He just goes back and does it again. So when he comes back, I do think that he'll probably go left side. Be interesting, won't it be, between him and Eze?
Good choice, though, isn't it? Good choice.
Massive, huge choice. Imagine trying to set up against that. You got Madueke coming flying at you, then all of a sudden it's the switch rings. You got Saka coming at you, and then maybe towards the end they chuck Eze out there. Imagine being the right back. You'd be devastated. Honestly, you'd be on that boat right back there, drinking.
Definitely some really good food for thought in terms of, obviously, like we say, the players that come back, like you talk about Havertz, can play up top, can play off Gyökeres, which I think is an absolute must in some games. I think will happen, to be fair. I think he'll push right up. But I look at that back four, and I just want to obviously talk about that back four because I think we'd be absolute criminal not to talk about that back four at the moment. But look, 8 games in the Premier League, 3 clean sheets. Also kept 2 clean sheets. Am I correct in saying in the Champions League so far against Olympiacos?
No, it's 8 games, 3 goals conceded, isn't it?
That's in the Premier. That's in the Premier League, and then I'm looking at 2 Champions League games, not conceded a goal as well.
Yeah,
so,
incredible.
Yeah, not conceding any shots on target in 2
last 2 league games. Neither West Ham or Fulham had a shot on target. It's fucking amazing.
So we're talking about 11 games, 3 conceded. Like,
incredible.
They've gone to Spain. They've gone to a really good, really tricky ground like Bilbao, and obviously weathered the storm in the first 15, 20 minutes. How good is this back four, Andy? Like, we talk about the famous back four that conceded 18 goals. You talk about the famous Chelsea back four that conceded 15, 16 goals in 2005.
Yeah.
How good is this back four?
This back four right now is almost as good as what we've ever had. And the only way we can cement that and have them almost like household names is by winning something this season. If we win one or two, if we win the league this year straight away, they'll be spoke about. We'll almost become legendary. And at the ages they are, we've got years as well in front of us with these lads playing, and the ones that are in front of them. So that whole system and that whole squad he's built is not just to win the league and the Champions League and the League Cup maybe this season. This is to go on and do it. You just said there about Guardiola winning 4 in a row. That's what we should be thinking about doing. There's no reason with that squad and the age of the squad that we can't be thinking about going doing that. And I honestly think that at the moment, when I look at managers speaking or supporters talking about teams in the league, everybody fears us. Everybody's saying that, there's no secret to the fact that most people are saying we're the best team in the league. And at this moment in time, you're on the top for a reason. And all we can do is just continue to just keep winning games, because don't forget, we look at them fixtures. So Man City, they're looking at their own fixtures, and you've got Liverpool have got their own fixtures, and they've got tricky ones coming up. And so there's going to be trips and falls along the way, but it's about us making sure that we just continue to improve on the results from last season, starting not on counting tomorrow night as such, but starting with Palace at the weekend, better than a draw. That's what we got last season. Get the 3 points, magic. Let's see what the other guys do then.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what it is, isn't it? It's like, at the moment, I think that's what we're kind of doing. Looking at the games like the Newcastle away, change that result, 3 points. Fulham, we've changed that result, 3 points. Get the win against Palace, hopefully, and then obviously
West Ham at home as well. We changed that one as well.
West Ham, absolutely.
Yeah, West Ham at home.
So there you are. So there's big points already on the board that we didn't have last season, and I don't think that right now we're anywhere near the top of our game yet. But we've just got so much belief in the squad and in the system and how we play that we will just go and beat teams. If it can't be an open play, we'll do it through set pieces, whatever. But we've got kind of weapons all over the pitch now. It's Yeah, it's phenomenal, man.
Charles, just saying competition, watch a little bit, please. What is wrong with Liverpool when the whole league is able to score against them? Why can't this Arsenal team? As I said earlier on, I just feel that we set up wrong against them. I think Arteta's got to take that one on the chin.
Too early in the season, really, if you think about it, really. Come at the wrong time.
I think we went there too respectful, if I'm being totally honest. I think there was a statement to be made that day and we didn't take it. But I think we're quite fortunate now. When you think about, isn't it, John, that actually we gone to Man City and Liverpool and not won, but somehow sitting 3 points on top of the league. Imagine saying that at the start of the season, like we're going to play Man City and Liverpool, we're going to take out 1 point out of them 2 games, but after 8 games we'll sit top of the league. It's quite amazing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, clear at the top as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Now, the league now, I mean, Liverpool ran about me last year. Hopefully we'll do the same thing this year. But everyone's beating everyone. It's a much tighter league. You see the 3 teams that come up, they're no longer, normally the teams that come up get battered every week. That's obviously not happening now. They've all come up and they're all doing well. There's so many decent teams at a similar sort of standard. You think like, if you take Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, you say the 3 best teams. Then you get your Newcastles, your Villas, your Spurs, your Man United, your Bournemouth, your Palaces, all at the same sort of level. So they're all going to be taking points of each other and beating each other and taking points of, they can take points of us, Liverpool or City as well. So we've got to keep on it. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool's a funny one, they really have. But we've said this, they've been very lucky. I mean, you think Burnley, when they scored like the 94th minute and
there's no one, is there?
Beat us with a world-class free kick. He hasn't done it since, is he? And it's definitely papered over the cracks. I mean, Salah, I said it earlier, I don't know what's happened to him. Honestly, watching the game yesterday, that chance he had, he put him wide. He never normally does that. I don't know if his ex-signing has really annoyed him or what, but yeah, it's a great chance for us this year. There really is. I mean,
do we feel there was too much change at Liverpool at one go?
Possibly, but if we've signed a load of players, I mean, they signed a lot of attackers, and we've signed quite a few as well. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the difference is
we signed Eze, Madwaki, and Gyökeres, and they signed Wirtz, Isak, and Tiki. It's the same sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know.
I agree and disagree. I think when you start looking at the players that we brought, they're actually Premier League proven players that will know how to settle into league quite quickly. I think the problem with Liverpool is as well, like we've kept our structure of our back 4. The way they treated Trent Arnold was a bit disgraceful, really, considering what he'd done for them and the trophies he put into their cabinets. But whether they like it or not, he was a big player for them. He was a big player for them. Yeah, okay, he's not the great defensively, but what he was, right, he could put an assist in left, right, centre, and he was an absolute threat. And he could score a set piece, put a set piece in.
That Perkins is nothing special.
Yeah, I think they've tried to change too much, right? But they've tried to change it with, I don't think, the right strategy of signings. And I'll go back to that. Actually, you're playing a massive risky game when you buy 2 big strikers and try and embed them into one team. Now, obviously, we know the Jota situation falls down with them, sadly, and then probably it was probably never needed. It was never the case for them to go and buy 2 strikers. But obviously, with him passing, they felt they had to go out and buy 2 strikers. But I think they've got it wrong here. I think they've got it totally wrong.
I think these signings really torpedoed.
Yeah, they should have brought one in. Or if you're going to bring someone else in, you buy someone in of a different mould. But they basically brought these 2 guys in. And you can't be telling me, if you're one of them strikers that are not starting, you're sitting there thinking, wait a minute, I'll come and join this club for 89 million. I can't get in the team.
There's no way that Ekitike signed and he had no idea they were signing Isak. They wouldn't have said nothing. I don't know. But there's no way he would have gone there if they said, oh, hang on, well, we're going to get him as well. Because he wouldn't have gone there because he started off really well. If you remember the first couple of games, he scored a few goals. He looked really lively. And since Isak's come in, mate, he come on and looked quite lively yesterday. But, yeah, you're telling me he's not that kind of gone down well.
Just got a question for you from Rosie. Question for Brooksy.
Go on. Sorry, I'm married. No, isn't that
Well,
one?
no. Was it difficult starring in the ITV drama Mr. Bates versus the Post Office?
I have no idea what that means.
I'm going to have to Google that one for sure after.
I know about the scandal, yeah. I presume you didn't think I'm looking at the old bloke that was in it, but I don't know.
What's your
because
thoughts,
the bloke
Andy,
that
on
was
the
in it,
Liverpool
John, was
situation?
beautiful as well. He was gorgeous.
No, he was an old man.
I think that's what she's getting at.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
she's
know
trying
the
to say,
bloke,
mate.
yeah.
You let yourself think that one anyway.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Liverpool situation, Andy?
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's a bit of a mess. Why? I mean, we've talked about Isak and Ekitike. I mean, briefly on that one, as John mentioned there, Ekitike started the season off like flying. Then all of a sudden, Isak's come in, completely stifled Ekitike now. In so much as that the bloke sat on the bench, he was Liverpool's best player at the start of the season. And then there's also like, we have to play him because we paid £150 million.
That's it.
And it's not, the balance of the side is all out. They brought Kirkes in at left back. I still think right now that I'd have Andy Robertson over Kirkes. I just think he's a bit wild. He's a bit of a liability for me. Whereas Robertson's a big steady Eddie, but he knows the system. He gets up and down.
He knows
and then
the
you
league.
look at Salah. Salah is just like a lost soul at the moment because he's lost Trent. Them two down that side could tear teams apart. It was almost like Odegaard and Saka. They had that relationship. They knew what each other were doing. They knew where they were moving. Now Trent's gone. Salah is just an absolute shell. Honestly, I can't believe I'm watching him. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be devastated and I'd be fuming with his performances right now. But the whole balance of the team just seems a bit all over the place. It almost felt a bit Real Madrid-y in the summer because they just go and sign big players, spend loads of money, buy them in, bring them in, without any real thought as to why. You're like, why would you bring in Isak and Ekitike? I just can't get my head around it. Two big players. And I think there's only so long before Ekitike starts getting pissed off. Because he shouldn't be sat on the bench. He shouldn't be sat on the bench anywhere. He should be playing. But Isak's obviously got the nod now, but Isak's not fit yet. He's not flying, but it's all a mess.
He don't look happy at all, he just looks a completely different player.
But
he's had a tough start. Konate's been a bit all over the place, which is then not the knock-on effect is it affects Van Dijk because he looked sluggish yesterday. Yeah, so it's a mess. It's a mess, and it's
great.
And long may it continue. Get in.
Let's talk the manager quickly because obviously he had a great first season. He took over that team, which obviously was superbly set up by Jurgen Klopp, if we're being totally on the show. But he did take them to the title. He's still got to produce that. But he's totally got off the rails. And I'm trying to work out in my head, right? Why and how has he gone off the rails? Like, his interviews are very spiky. I knew he'd lost it straight away yesterday when his first comment against Man United again, the low block and hooping on balls. But you still lost to that, mate. You set up a team that lost to that. Do you know what I mean? And look, I think I knew straight away when I see Isak up front, I thought, you've made a big mistake here. You've made a big, big mistake. And I'm with you guys. I don't think he should be starting for Liverpool Football Club at the moment. I think that he needs to be that player that who sits on the bench, comes on for a few games, tries to embed himself in that way and earn his place. I don't think he's earned his place at the moment. I don't think he has anything that he could sit there and say to the Liverpool fans to say that I justify starting in that number 9 role at the moment. Yeah, you cost 130 million, but your performances are pretty pathetic for both club and country at the moment. So I think he's got that wrong. But I don't know. Like, I do have concerns with Slot. Like, they're not concerns for me because actually they're great. But he doesn't seem to be able to get himself out of this slump, does he? And he seems to be very spiky in terms of actually what he's saying. And when you sit there and think, actually, they've been quite lucky this season. Like Bournemouth at home, they were 2-up, 2-2, scored in the last minute to obviously change that. Like you said, John, the Burnley game was pretty much 94th minute, was an absolute ludicrous mistake.
Terrible penalty
by the Burnley player to give them a win. You sit there and you think, actually, they could have come out the wrong side of at least another 2 of them games. And he needs to kind of change himself at the moment and the way he's approaching the press conferences, because I think actually it's becoming a little bit now where if this continues, I think the noise is going to get a bit louder because actually you brought your own players in. everyone's going on about Arteta that he's got to win the league this year because he spent all this money. But actually, Liverpool spent more money. Liverpool spent more money. They won the title. They spent more money. They should be going to retain that title. And at the moment, I'm not really seeing it because I'm looking at the games that they're losing results, and I'm thinking, do you know what? They're not in your toughest of games yet. Like, you've got to go to Manchester City in 3 weeks' time. Like, if you can't defend against some of the teams, like some of these teams like Bournemouth and that, which no disrespect for them, you wait till you let Haaland go clean through. And I think the other problem is, I think there's some Asian players there. I think Salah, if we're being totally honest here at the moment, and Van Dijk, if you said to them this year, what would you rather win, the Premier League or the Champions League? I think they would want to win the Champions League this year. I don't think that they really care about the Premier League this year, but it comes down to it. I think they'll go all in on the Champions League, and I think you'll see their better performances in the Champions League. The problem is they're aging. It's probably not so bad for Van Dijk in some ways, but Salah, he's got to keep running game in, game out. He produced so much last year in that title charge. He delivered the title for me last year. He can't repeat that again this year. His legs won't allow him to repeat that this year. So I think a lot of these players, like the Van Dijks and the Salahs, are pretty much going to, in their head, choose, I'd rather go for the Champions League. Of course, they'd rather go for the Champions League. They'll want that under them one more time. I think it works in our favour a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's another reason that does work in our favour. And I just think with Liverpool, I don't think they've got the back four this year. And I also don't think that their midfield's connecting like it did a year ago. So I think there's a lot of issues there. And I think there's going to be some more tough times ahead for them over the next few weeks.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and it's why it's imperative that no matter how we play, we pick up the 3 points. Yeah. I remember there were situations last season when Liverpool, I'd watch them on the telly and they would be awful, but yet they'd come up with the winning goal. And we'd be sat here saying, you know what, they just find a way, don't they? That's a winning mentality. And actually, we're doing it. That's what we're doing now. But it's about sustaining that, keeping that drive, keeping that determination, and literally get through this block of games again, and just try and get them 3 points on the board each time. And you'll see a gap open up because everybody else will beat each other or drop points here and there. Even City, because if you take Haaland out of City, they're a pretty average side, you know. I mean, they've proved it a few times this season, but he's a freak of nature and he could ultimately drag them all away. But there's nobody pulling up trees at the moment, and performance-wise, and we're the team that has shown the consistency. Even though we can sit through games and whinge and moan, like I whinge and moan like there's no tomorrow about how we play. It's a bit laborious, it's too slow, we're too sideways, clearly we're doing this for a reason. And when you're sat with all of all these defenders sat in front of you, that's where your special players come into play. And I think through the summer we've invested, and the special players are there, and we've got all the ingredients now we're going to go on and win it. There you are. Mark my words.
Love that. Good evening to the score guy, the legend himself. How you doing, mate? I'm just saying, Slot inherited a stunning team. Now it shows he can't get tactics right, or or rebuild a team. He is Mr. Excuses.
It's interesting that he's right, you know, because you never know. It's just like in football. Pat Rice used to always say, you never know about each other until you've suffered like when you get in the dark places and you've suffered as a team together. Now, last season, Slot, you know, let's be honest, it pretty much coasted the league. So when he was interviewed, he was quite suave, laid back, cool guy. Everyone thought, this guy's brilliant. It's only now when you see them start to suffer that you see another side to him, and you think, actually, there's more to this. There's more to him. Disappointing, I think, is some of his interviews, and it's quite sulky. It's a bit petulant, and I just think, now that you're suffering, actually, we're seeing a different side to you. And is this the real Slot that's coming out?
Big pressure on him as well.
He's put pressure on himself. He's got this massive squad of players. Look around the changing room. They've got all these big name players there. The system, they haven't got the system right. They haven't got the players right. They spent all that money in the summer and gone backwards. So if you're the owner of that club, you'd be looking at it thinking, what the fuck? All that money, spent 150 million on that, on over 225 million pound on 2 players to play up front, and they've gone backwards. So
they've got a tough game week in the week Frankfurt away as well. If they lose
Yeah,
that's
got
5
Frankfurt
in a
and
row.
Brentford,
The
like-
pressure ramping up.
Yeah,
Frankfurt, a good side, mate.
the games are thick and fast. They're coming thick and fast. They're away. Brentford on a Saturday night. Already shown Chelsea, mate. Brentford took a 2-2 draw there.
Brentford were beating West Ham. I don't know if they still are. But
They're still winning.
1-0.
Still winning
1-0.
1-0. And they just hit the bar as well.
Just let you know, John, I've just sent Rosie's picture of Mr. Bates to you, so you can have a little look at that.
I'll have a look in a minute. If I press it, I'll come off the thing. But right,
Oh, yeah, don't look at it yet, then wait till after the show.
I think I
You're the
know what
double
she
of him.
means. She's
You're
a
the
cheeky
absolute
bitch.
double,
What's the Brentford score?
1-0.
1-0.
There you go.
It
So
was- Yeah,
West Ham losing again.
that'd be a
Brentford
tricky
battering
game for old Liverpool Saturday, definitely.
He's doing all right, Brentford, to be fair. I had him go down, but Keith Andrews has done all right.
Just going into tomorrow's game.
You know what? Henderson's quietly been a brilliant signing.
He's done well for them. Yeah, he's solid.
Maybe old Liverpool could do with him at the moment.
Hopefully he'll score the winner against them on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be nice, yeah.
Just looking ahead to tomorrow, then we look ahead to Saturday quickly. Obviously, big game in the Champions League. I'm not expecting many changes, if I'm being totally honest. I reckon there might be one or two at the most. What are you expecting, John? Many changes tomorrow night, or do you think we'll go with this?
I'd be surprised if he made many, because obviously they're a good side. You know, I think did they draw with Liverpool this year in the Champions League 2-2?
No, they lost in the end, didn't they? Like, that was a last-minute goal as well.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, no, I'm not expecting. The only one I could possibly see is Martinelli for Trossard, if you want a bit more pace on the counter attack, because Atletico Madrid will sit back. But I'd be surprised if he made any others. I can't see him making any changes to the back four. Possibly, if he did put Eze on the wing, Marino could come in. Again, I'd be surprised. But then Marino has been scoring. So I don't know. But no, I'm not expecting many. 1 or 2 at the most. But yeah, like I said, Atletico Madrid a good side. So
I think it's a good shout out. I think Mikel Marino might come in tomorrow night, if I'm being totally honest. I could see it. I don't want to see it, but I've got this feeling tomorrow night that Mikel Marino will start in front of Eze potentially. And I think Martinelli will be the other one. That's what I'm expecting. I think Martinelli, Champions League night under lights, bit of pace against the Spanish team. I think it makes total sense. Keep Trossard fresh for Sunday. And I think Eze will come on tomorrow night. I think we'll start with a pretty structured centre midfield. What's your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't see any major surprises when the lineup's called out at all. Personally, I would play Martinelli in front of Trossard. I just think Martinelli, you know, as we all know, I've been his biggest critic at times, but ultimately, of late, he's been scoring goals when he's had the opportunities. So he's been kind of held back at a time when he's probably pushing more for a place to start, because he's looked really sharp this season, and his pace is frightening and his work rate is frightening. So he could potentially come in, but yeah, I can't see many changes. And let's not forget, Atletico Madrid they're a good side. You know, they've got Griezmann, Alvarez coming at you. You know, we'll have our work cut out, but again, it's a game I think I'm expecting to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Just look at an interesting one for score guy, yeah. I'm just saying, Rice Sumbeni one away from one match. Suspension, interesting. Actually,
who have we got after the? Oh,
I was about to say start Prague away.
Okay, well, yeah.
Could there be a tactical booking there?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. The thing is, look, we'll talk about it now in this podcast, but ultimately the players know this as well. And
so
them sort of yellow cards have happened for years and years and years. We've all took one from time to time. You look at the next game and think, oh, do you know what? I might have to take this here, because God forbid they get booked and they miss the Bayern game or whatever. You'd be devastated. So, yeah. Interesting one.
Did we do Atletico predictions yet? Not yet. I thought there'd be sparks with Simeone and Arteta. I think when Simeone's around, there's always an animated figure, isn't there? A lot of Spanish trash.
Didn't he almost have a fight with a Liverpool fan or something?
Yeah.
It will be a tough game tomorrow night. It'll be an absolute. It's a good test tomorrow night. I think.
Yeah, it will be
a very good test.
They'll shit house their way through it, won't they? You know what they're like.
He goes on the same. A problem with it is Eze, and you Champions League nights, he is not up to the mark. He's always seemed to be below par because of zero experience in this competition. We need him. I have confidence, but he has been lacklustre.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah, I think it was an eye opener for him in Bilbao. I do think it was an eye opener for him. I think again, as we discussed earlier on, he is playing in a much different system against low blocks now, which I think most players struggle with. I'd like to see him have a moment though, and he needs it quite early on, I think. So tomorrow night would be an ideal one for him to have a moment. He's got all the capabilities and everything in his tank to be able to conjure up some magic. Just not really sure tomorrow night that it will start. I just think that actually against this team and the physicality, I could just see Mikel Merino being selected in there for that. So that would be interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, I suppose in some respects, if I looked at it that way, it'd be a little bit disappointing if that was the case, because that's just been quite reactive, kind of looking at them and thinking, oh, we need a bit of strength. Actually, why don't we be the ones that go, right, do you know what? Now you are playing because you're better than him, and you're going to go at them and you're going to go and scare them. And so let's be positive with our team selections rather than worried about what they're going to offer coming back to us. I'd like to think he starts. But
yeah, I'm totally with you, mate. Totally with you. I want him to start. I don't really want to say. I don't want to see Mikel Merino, Rice, and Subimendi as a pivot, a midfield three. It stifles us a little bit. I think if we do it though, Saka and Martinelli 100% have to start on the wings.
Yeah,
to offer us that pace.
Yeah.
Good evening, Jason.
You know what? In some respects, mate, it's not worth forgetting as well that Merino does come up with some big goals.
Yeah,
he scored some big goals for us.
He scored some goals for Spain, by the way. He's absolutely flying in the old qualifiers.
He's just got a knack. He's got a knack for being in the right place at the right time.
He scores all types of goals as well.
But he only had 60 minutes went on Saturday, so there is no reason why he couldn't start.
Very true.
And they said tried to play Mikel Merino and then put Eze on the left. Not sure that would happen. That would be another option.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
So what are you going for, Andy, with the Atletico game?
I'm going to go. I think Madrid might score actually, but I'm going to go 2-1. I think it'll be the score will sound closer than what it is, but I can't see us scoring many more against a very tight Madrid team. 2-1 though to win.
I'll go. I was trying to be a bit exciting, but I'll go 3-1. Well, Liverpool score 3 against him. I'll go 3-1. They might nick a goal, but yeah, I fancy us.
I'm gonna
get a couple big.
I'm going to join Andy. I'm going to go 2-1. I think it's a really tough game. I think this will be a grinding game. I think it's a good test for us though to see where we're at this year. I fancy Saka to score tomorrow night. It always turns up in the big games under the lights, so I think he'll score. I'm not sure he'll get the other goal, but I'm going to go 2-1. Jason's going to go 1-0. He's going for tomorrow night. Another 1-0 would take that to the Arsenal.
Yeah,
also, send up the pictures from the boat, Smuggo. There were some good pictures.
Don't encourage him, Jason.
There were some good pictures. Andy saying Spanish players can play in many positions. It's natural for them. They are brilliantly technically. Couldn't agree more. Rosie, yet again, is predicted another Arsenal defeat. 3-0 South Atletico.
Come on, Rosie.
It'll come one day for you, Rosie. It'll come one day for you. It's like when she does it. It's getting to the point. It's like when she does it for England. It's like 1 in 8 games or something like that. Margaret, good evening to you. Good to see you on. She's going for 2-1.
I think Rosie might be still in that boat. You were on Saturday.
Yeah, go on, Andrew. Good boy.
Pink G's going 2-0. So let's move on to Sunday. Big, obviously, London derby. North versus South.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. Many of them. Obviously, we got the FA Cup and the Community Shield champions coming into town, so I'm sure we'll hear all about that Sunday. We'll definitely be in a pub with them all.
Yeah, you will.
Any concerns? Andy's gone for 2-2.
No.
Good evening, Anthony, mate. Sorry, mate. I've seen you in the chat. I was being rude probably, but yeah, good to see you on, mate. Charles has gone for a 0-0. Both goalkeepers will be busy. I tell you what, I wouldn't rule out a 0-0 tomorrow. I'll be absolutely pissed off. I wouldn't rule it out.
They're right up if it's 0-0. First game of the season.
So yeah, Sunday. Any concerns, Andy?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, we know Palace have the job that manager's done there. He's done a phenomenal job and turned them into a really, really good side. But no, I've got no real figures. I think we'll beat them. I'd like to think we'll beat them comfortable as well. I could see a 3-0 coming up. Palace have hit a bit of a blip themselves, though, haven't they, of late? They've kind of lost a couple now and dropped points. Well, and great comeback Saturday, but they still dropped points essentially. So no, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be too strong.
Do you find it interesting that it's come out about Mark Guay this week? Like, we all knew he was going to go, but was there any need for it's come out in the press?
It's bizarre.
No, it was very bizarre. It was strange to come out like that. You know, I thought the whole thing had been handled brilliantly by Mark Guay, the whole transfer saga. So yeah, I was surprised to see that come out.
No need when they're doing so well. I don't understand that.
Palace have just got themselves in a great position, and there's never stories around Palace, and then all of a sudden this comes out. It was strange timing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's very strange timing. The only thing it makes me think, though, is he going to go in January? Because the actual news headline was that he'll go next year, and everyone's going, "Oh, he's going for a bit of money." Actually, next year could be January. Is he signing for Liverpool in January?
Yeah,
I don't know. You know, he could be going somewhere else.
Be interesting.
Chelsea are missing a lot of centre halves.
I can see because Kanate struggled this season big time, and I could almost see Gay going in alongside Van Dijk.
I'll be very surprised if he don't go to Liverpool now. Like after it was all great, I don't think.
I could see him going somewhere forward, like Munich or something.
Because there was talk of Munich, wasn't there, at one point?
I think if it becomes common knowledge that he could be off before next summer, I think I'll still be getting in contact.
Real Madrid?
From across Europe.
Do you know what?
Possibly. Do
you know what, Liam? He's a top player, so there's so many top clubs that he could probably go to. Yeah.
So obviously looking at it, he's probably their top player in here alongside. I'd say that Adam Wharton's really good in here, really good young talent. He is. I think he's going to end up at a really good club.
Oh, he's a beautiful footballer.
Mateta's scoring goals.
He causes a lot of trouble against Gabriel Saliba. Although I will say last season when we drew with them, we were in that kind of a lull where we weren't going to win the league and we weren't going to win anything else. And all the players have been a bit sorry for themselves and scraped it towards you all. But this time around, everyone's just so on it and so switched on and hungry.
Yeah.
I just think I think we'll win fairly comfortably. I do think.
Obviously, Eze was a form last year. Yeah, he scored, didn't he? Like last year's, I think it was a disappointing performance against them. I thought Palace were a better team against us, but as you said, the title was pretty much over at that point. We was pretty much concentrating on the Champions League, weren't we, at that point as well, with Paris Saint-Germain, I think, just about to come into town at that point. So I think it's going to be an interesting game on Sunday. I think actually it's probably going to be one of those first games where we're actually not really going to come up against a low block. I don't think Palace set up like that. I think they'll defend, but I think they've got a lot of attributes going forward as well. So I think they'll want to exploit and try and get us in certain areas. But I think that might open up for us a little bit more. And because of that, I fancy Gyökeres to get on the score sheet definitely on Sunday.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you got the will. Just going on that one, the will, and the will set up with there will be a lot of players behind the ball. But the difference with Palace is when you've got like a Mateta as your out ball, he's a big nuisance, and then you've got someone like Sarr who is absolutely rapid.
Yes.
Yeah, that can definitely be a threat without a shadow of a doubt. And if Wharton gets time to play, he could cause us problems. But I think we're going to have the ball 70% of the match. It's about what we do with it. And this could be a big week for Eze. This could be the arrival of him. Let's hope. Gets a big goal tomorrow night. Backs it up with another one against Palace at the weekend, and that's him lift off.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't
it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be absolutely lovely. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 on Sunday.
I'd love Gyökeres to score because the effort and the work rate that lad puts in is phenomenal, and he just needs that goal now. We just bobble off his shin, smash him in the face, anything. Just get him a goal, and his goals will come. He'll start to score a lot of goals for us. I've got absolutely no doubt whatsoever.
What are you going for?
3-0.
John?
Yeah, I'll go 3-0.
confident chaps there for
Yeah.
a double for Arsenal this week. So yeah, it's all boding well for another exciting week.
Are Palace playing?
Pardon?
Are Palace in Europe?
Yeah,
Thursday
they're on
night.
They've got a
Thursday.
match. So
Yeah,
they'll have a match
Europa
Thursday
Conference
night, won't
League.
they?
They got a
Home
bit of a
to
dead rubber game now. I've
Larnaca,
never
and
seen
it's
it. I
some
don't think it's a
Cypriot
dead
pub
rubber.
team. Yeah,
It's still,
AEK Larnaca.
but nevertheless, though, it's still a match on a Thursday
Yeah.
night, and they've got to get
Yeah.
through that. And
And we've
many
had
teams have
48
found it
hours
difficult.
rest.
Yeah, so many teams find it difficult to then raise the game again on the Sunday. We'll have had the extra day, actually extra 2 days rest. So that might be advantageous as well on the day.
And the thing is, as well, that they want to impress in Europe, don't they? Like
Yeah.
They should win that.
Probably their
They should win that.
best way. Like they've tasted trophy success now in the FA Cup and the Community Shield. Why can't they go out and win the UEFA Conference League?
Absolutely, I hope they
They've
do.
got a great chance of winning that. There's not many teams.
Do you know what? They deserve it the way they were treated.
Yeah, it'd be justice, wouldn't it, if they got through next
Yeah,
year?
brilliant. Yeah, I quite like Palace.
Probably should be going out Europa League soon.
Oh, hopefully.
No, they will be. Big Sean Dyche is going in there.
You just got to ask yourself the question. You've
What
gone from
on
Nuno to Ange to Sean Dyche. It's just an absolute carsy, isn't it?
Absolute nonsense.
I can't see that one boding well, if I'm being totally honest.
No, definitely not.
Rosie's going Palace 6, Arsenal 1. The canteen staff have scored a 6.
Will someone take that bottle of whiskey off Rosie?
Go and have a lie down, Rosie.
Oh, Rosie! Rosie's obviously needed a few little bites tonight, isn't she? So she's nibbling hard. I suppose it's that one win all season so far, Rosie.
They only got a new manager, haven't they?
It's quite weird, though, is it? That Rangers have won
finally got a new manager.
6, lost 1.
But in fairness to Rangers, they got a massive draw at home to Dundee at the weekend. So
no, Dundee United.
Dundee United. Oh yeah, they're even shitter.
They're better than Dundee actually.
But
Dundee beat Celtic.
They did 2-0.
Yeah.
Hearts are like 5 points clear.
It'd be great to see, wouldn't it? Someone Hearts
winning magic, especially scoring from Edinburgh winning it.
I don't know if it's the chairman, but he's got something. But the bloke that's in charge of Brighton, Tony Bloom, has got a big stake in Hearts, and he's chucked some money at them. And he got a lot of stick at the start of the season that he was saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to win the league," and everyone laughed at him. And at the moment they're flying high. So
no, it'd be great for Scottish football. Wouldn't it?
It's about.
I went up to a wedding in Aberdeen in June, and they had just beaten Celtic.
That's right, penalties. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, they were bounced off the walls, mate.
Oh,
they were
absolutely.
off the walls. Old guy was sitting at my table. He was like, he must have been in his 80s. It was lovely to see, to be fair.
Yeah, no, they haven't won a trophy for a long time. Yeah, it was
like, I've never seen that. He said the town was just absolutely bouncing. It was brilliant.
Yeah, superb.
Yeah.
Old Jim's in the house. San Marino will start in the 9. That could happen tomorrow night. That would be interesting if that did happen. Think this is tough 1-1. Yeah, mate. Honestly, I think it's going to be a tough one tomorrow night. I could see a draw or slight win. I think this is a true test tomorrow night.
When Marino starts, he'll score. I've got a feeling I might put a few quid on that.
We got the best side of the draw last year when they got knocked out by Real Madrid, because I think that'd have been a much tougher test for us.
It's just such a shit house, isn't it? It's just they'll just wind us right up. And if we know that Rice and Zubimendi were booking away for missing games, they'll be getting stuck into them, trying to wind them up.
Rosie saying Dundee United are better than Dundee.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, Rosie, we're on the same page. Yeah, exactly.
If Hearts beat Celtic this weekend, they'll win the league.
Wow, is that this weekend?
Oh, what a massive game! I didn't realise.
Yeah,
Jason, who's in the house, he's a Hibernian fan.
Oh no, he must be hating life then.
Oh my lord.
Life ain't great for you, Jason.
Mind you, I must say about Hibs, they have one of the best songs.
Sunshine and Leith.
Sunshine and Leith.
Yeah.
If you ever get any video footage of their fans singing that,
I have.
It kind of brings tears to your eyes. It's class.
See, look, we even covered a Scottish game.
There you go. We'll cover it all, mate.
We cover it all, mate. We cover it all.
Not multinational. Right, on to the German
Don't come here and give me your Irish terms. I know absolutely nothing. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up. That's another edition of North Bank Summit completed with these two gorgeous chaps.
Oof.
We will be back next week for another edition where we'll look back at the Arsenal Atletico game and look back to the Crystal Palace game, and hopefully we'll be celebrating 2 wins out of 2. And we'll be looking ahead to Brighton in the Carabao Cup and then away to Burnley. So the games are coming thick and fast, and because they're coming thick and fast, there's a lot more for us to talk about.
Get in. Absolutely.
So yeah, just want to say thank you, Andy, for coming on again tonight, mate.
Oh, no problem. I've really enjoyed it. Rambling about absolutely rubbish again.
That's what we do
I'm
best.
The master.
Yeah,
I'm the master of talking shit.
Oh, mate.
You have 2 others.
And Mr. Brooksy, I'll see you tomorrow night for a few beverages. I've just seen Copey's said he'll be in.
Yes,
he'll be at the famous Cock by 5 o'clock.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'll hopefully should be up there by about 4 o'clock.
Oh, you might be there at the same time as me then.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Oh, some early Smuggle and Brooksy drinks. What can go wrong?
Oh, you lucky lads.
Go on there. Yeah,
lucky lads.
Yeah.
You enjoy it, boys.
We're looking forward to the day
much.
you come down, mate.
Oh,
get down.
I'd love to come down, honestly. Well, if we can get some tickets sorted, I'd love to come down and have a drink with you guys.
Club legends like you, mate, they need to be throwing the tickets at you.
Do you know what? I used to get them all the time off the club, but for whatever reason, they've stopped doing it now. Well, probably because they're doing quite well. The club the club have always been really good. In fairness, they've been class, but tickets now are on 9 impossible to get hold of.
We'll do our best for you, mate.
Oh, nice one.
Did West Ham lose in the end?
It's still 1-0, and we're in the last minute of stoppage time. And in fairness, Brentford should have scored about 4.
West Ham are shit, aren't they?
They're absolute crap.
I'm so glad we beat them. Finally.
They need to. Yeah, I hope they get relegated.
Well, like I said earlier, the 3 promoted teams that come up are doing all right, mate. West Ham should be very worried. I think Wolves are going down, definitely. I can't see.
When you come up as a promoted team and you buy Granit Xhaka, you know you're going to do that. That's a top player coming in.
That's the game that
Sunderland done well
know.
there. That game at the Stadium of Light will be interesting because their crowd, their players, they'll be right up for it. So
5:30 kickoff that game as well.
Is it?
Oh,
is
raucous.
Mate, that's going to be an atmosphere. Actually,
it'll be awesome.
Yeah. He'll have a score, get sent off. That'll be good money on that. I think I've got some. Yeah, he'll do something. He'll
5 under the lights of Sunderland. Oh, what can go wrong?
Yeah. 2-0 Brentford.
That's why it's on the telly.
2-0.
2-0 just scored.
Not a great night for West Ham then.
Newell might get relegated after 2 games.
Yeah, big defeat that is. They were home, weren't they?
Keith Andrews, mate.
Yeah.
They were at home. Yeah, fair play, Keith Andrews, mate. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Up the Arsenal.
See you later. Come on, you gooners.